A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to this edition of Lunchtime News here on MTV Sports with News First. I'm Shahin Churangpati. Let's take a look at your headlines this afternoon. Sensors on all light vehicles entering Colombo. Strong winds causes damage to property in several areas. South Korea media says that North Korea may have conducted a nuclear test. Now for those stories in detail. A census was carried out on all light vehicles that entered Colombo since this morning. The police media unit said that the census was carried out on all main roads leading towards Colombo. This was a census carried out on light vehicles travelling along the Kalani Bridge in Palagoda towards Colombo. The vehicle census was also carried out in the Ayurveda roundabout and Obey Sekarapura. Our correspondent said that a heavy traffic congestion was reported as a result of this. The Director of Communications and Public Affairs at the Commonwealth Secretariat, Richard Uku, notes that contrary to some media reports, Commonwealth Secretary General Kamalesh Sharma has not made any statements with regard to Sri Lanka as host venue of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in November 2013. Issuing a statement, Uku says that the only public statement issued by the Commonwealth Secretariat thus far is a press release by the Secretariat's official spokesperson on the 10th of February announcing the Secretary General's visit to Sri Lanka. The Secretariat adds that there will be a statement at the end of the Secretary General's visit to Sri Lanka tomorrow. Moving on to more local news. Professors of geology at the Peradeniya University state that the fragments of rocks which were discovered from the Aralaganvilla area recently are not fragments of meteors. Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Atula Senaratne, reiterates that the fragments of rock were formed when lightning strikes the oil.
On the 29th of December last year, area residents of Aralaganvilla Polonnaruwa claimed that fragments of meteorites landed in the area during a storm. A group including the Vice Chancellor of the Peradeniya University, Professor Atula Senaratne, visited the location to investigate the phenomenon. However, their investigations have revealed that the fragments of rock are not in fact fragments of meteors. This is a fragment of rock collected from the Aralaganvilla area. This is not something that you would witness normally. When lightning strikes, it vaporizes the soil, and what can be seen is what happens when it solidifies. This is almost identical in nature when you compare it with what we have observed overseas. However, the director of the Buckingham Centre for Astrobiology, Professor Chandra Vikramasinghe, who also conducted investigations into the fragments in Aralaganvilla, considers the fragments to be meteors and states that it contains evidence of extraterrestrial life.
The Disaster Management Centre said that 22 houses were destroyed in the Kotapala area in Matara yesterday due to gale force winds that swept across the area last night. Meanwhile, our correspondent said that several houses in the Talawakale area were also damaged. Gale force winds damaged around 20 houses located in the Greg Western Estate in Talawakale. Our correspondent said that the winds were experienced at around 9 last night. Trees had fallen onto the road, damaging several electric cables in the area, while the strong winds also swept across Kotmale last night. Our correspondent said that due to the winds, devotees were unable to climb Adams Peak since last night. The Botri, the room where the sacred relics are enclosed, and the pagoda of the Sri Padasthana were damaged due to the winds experienced from last night until this morning. The National Paddy Marketing Board says that it has commenced purchasing paddy from farmers in the north. Chairman of the board, K.B. Jayasinghe, says that the stocks of paddy are being purchased from farmers in the Kilinochchi and Mullaitivu districts at present. Paddy stocks which have a moisture content of around 14% will be purchased through the Paddy Marketing Board. The Paddy Marketing Board notes that warehouses in the north and east have already been freed in order to store the paddy purchased from the areas. The board says that although a large area was cultivated in the north during this season, there has been a decrease in the harvest due to floods experienced in the recent past. The Central Environmental Authority has commenced a program to manufacture biogas with the use of garbage disposed from homes. Its chairman Vimal Rupasinghe said that the program will be conducted under the National Pilisari project. Vimal Rupasinghe added that the first phase of the program will be conducted by focusing on establishments which dispose a large quantity of leftover food. The biogas will be manufactured in several hospitals, including the Maharagama Cancer Hospital and the Ragama Teaching Hospital. Still in local news, the government has decided to take stern action by imposing fines on Sri Lankan fishermen who violate international maritime boundaries. Director General of the Department of Fisheries Development, Nimal Hettiarachchi, said that the Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Act will be amended for this purpose.
Director General of the Department of Fisheries Development, Nimal Hettiarachchi, said that certain Sri Lankan multi-day fishing crafts have engaged in illegal fishing in the maritime boundaries of other countries. He said that therefore several problems have cropped up. Director General of the Department of Fisheries Development also said that complaints have been received that fishermen who violate the international maritime boundaries have been fishing for endangered fish and have been using illegal fishing techniques. The Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Act will be amended in order to take legal action against such fishermen. Nimal Hettiarachchi noted that the bill containing the new laws will be tabled in Parliament following Cabinet approval.
And that's the end of your lunchtime news bulletin. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Shahan Jirangpadi. Goodbye.